2010, we met at a youth camp in Florida.
We met there, and she didn't like me. We'll just be blunt. So I moved here in 2010 for the Refuge School of Ministry that Pastor has. It was life-changing. But in that process, I met this wonderful person who was a children's pastor, and she was the director of a preschool in a nearby town. So in those moments, I knew that if I marry her, this girl likes kids, and I'm probably going to have a lot of them. So, and to be honest, I never, like, if you would have told me that like kids would be such a part of my life, like before that, I wouldn't have necessarily believed you, because like, I mean, like I had siblings, but that was like the extent of quote unquote children's ministry that I was involved in. I knew that our union and our marriage, that would be a vital part of it. So when we got married in May of 2012, May 26, 2012. I didn't know how or by what means, but I knew that our lives would be spent with children. Our house is a revolving door with kids, and we wouldn't have it no other way. But aside from all of that, we knew that deep down inside, you can have everybody else's kids, but there's that desire to have your own.
We made a really big move, and we took an associate pastor's position in another state, and that was an adjustment as well, being in another state and far away from
10 and a half hours from anything called or familiar.
And so I knew when we moved that it was probably not a smart thing to start pursuing to have a child at that time, even though that was about the time where we had kind of considered maybe possibly
trying to have a baby.
So we waited, and we kind of tossed the idea up a couple of times, and without necessarily trying, we found out that we were expecting.
And that was in May of 2014.
And we were so very excited, and we were keeping it a secret. We were Pinteresting 100,000 different ways to tell our family. We were so excited, and then it was just a few days later that I started to have some complications, and we went to the doctor, and they called us back after the blood work and let us know that the pregnancy was not going to be successful. So we kind of had a rough time.
That was heart-wrenching. If you've never struggled with any kind of fertility issues, you know, people care, and they want to comfort you, and there's no words.
There are no words, and that happened to fall. We got the news that year, and it was the Thursday before Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And so
Mother's Day was rough.
I had to climb in a Sunday school room and teach about the calling of God to be a mother.
When you have just lost.
When I just found out that I was indeed not going to be a mother. And from there we decided, hey, you know, we should start trying it.
We should try again.
So we did, and it was very unsuccessful.
Unless you've been there, unless you've done and been in this place, there's nothing more of a letdown than a negative pregnancy test.
And that's not something that happens, you know, once a year. It's
every month.
30 days.
And
it's like going through the 4 stages of grief.
Every month.
Every single month.
You know, you're so hopeful, and you just you have all these notions that oh yes, this is the month, this is the time, and you get all excited, and then it's a letdown. Again, that is the place that we've been. We've been there a while.
You know, it's the people in this church and our families that have been there with us, that have mourned with us.
Both parties have been involved, and it's not only as a frustrating letdown to us,
but it is for them.
You know,
and that feeling of,
I want to make my parents grandparents, and she wants, you know, her mom to be
grandparents so bad, and I know it hurts them, and it hurts me, and it hurts him that we can't do that for them.
But they've been very understanding and very patient. But there's been some people in our church that if it wasn't for them, I can't believe I'm really like, if it wasn't for them, they have been amazing. They've been there, and they have prayed, and they
told me it's okay to sling the dishes.
They have been there, and they understand it, and that has been so healing for us. Because I don't know why, I don't know if it's human nature, but we tend to tell ourselves to do this stuff alone. Like, nobody understands. But we have found that to be so untrue. Like, there's people that do understand, and it's not that they always have the words.
But just to be there.
But they're there. That's where we've been. And that's a fraction of the story, of the emotions, and how we have felt, and where we've been. But
Psalms 113:9 says that He maketh a barren woman to keep house, and to be the joyful mother of children. And I've read that scripture a bunch of times, and I never could understand like how that could be. How could He make the barren woman the joyful mother to children? If you're barren, you don't have children. But on May 27th, 2017, I found out exactly how that scripture could be true.
So with that being said, we want to let you guys know,
before we let anyone else know,
we've been holding this in
for 1 whole week,
that on October the 5th, we will become the parents of this little girl. Through adoption.
This sweet little girl.
That's my little girl.
This sweet little girl, whose name will not be released at this time, has a mom who loves her very much. And she's a very brave and courageous mother. She's a wonderful mom. At this time in her life, she does not feel that she is at a place where she can give this baby girl everything that she deserves. And with that being said, like any good mom, she puts the needs of her child above the wants of her heart.
Her birth father also is very commendable in that he is saying that he wants his daughter to have the best shot in life, and it's very commendable, and we feel so honored and so excited and humbled.
We don't deserve it.
We don't deserve this.
This doesn't happen to
a lot of this, you know,
a lot of people. This story is not a common one,
and
but
so
it is our story.
It's our story, and we are so excited to be her parents.
Yeah. So look out, Refuge.
There's a baby coming.
Baby on the way. To all of our babies out there, our arms are still big enough, so don't you worry.
We got you. And if today you're still in your story and your process,
don't give up.
We're a testimony. And trust me, if He can do it for us, He can do it for anybody.
And we're going to be parents.
Ah!